As the days shorten and a crisp chill settles over the garden, our instinct is often to give our winter vegetables a good, hearty feed. We reach for well-rotted manure, that trusted friend of the summer garden, believing it will provide the warmth and nourishment our brassicas and root crops need to push through the cold. It feels like the right thing to do, a sort of winter blanket for the soil. We layer it on, thinking of the rich, dark goodness we are adding, picturing robust leeks and cabbages come the new year. It's a practice handed down through generations of gardeners, and on the surface, it makes perfect sense. However, gardening is a wonderful teacher of nuance, and it often asks us to look a little closer at what is truly happening beneath the surface. What if I told you that this act of kindness, this generous application of manure in the depths of December, might be doing more harm than good? It's a rather counterintuitive thought, I know. Manure is the very backbone of organic gardening, a symbol of fertility and health. Yet, the garden in winter operates under a completely different set of rules. The soil, the air, and the very life within the earth have all slowed to a quiet, dormant rhythm, and our gardening methods must adapt in harmony with them. The problem lies not with the manure itself, but with the timing. In the warmth of spring and summer, the soil is teeming with billions of microscopic organisms, bacteria, fungi, and other tiny creatures that work tirelessly to break down organic matter. They are the engines of the soil, converting manure into the simple, soluble nutrients that plant roots can absorb. But as the temperature drops, this microbial workforce largely goes to sleep. They slow down their activity, waiting for the warmth of spring to return. When we add a thick layer of cold manure to already cold soil, we are essentially giving our plants a meal they simply cannot digest. This is a common mistake I see many well-intentioned gardeners make. They notice their winter crops are struggling, looking a bit yellow or failing to put on new growth, and they immediately assume the soil is hungry. So, they add more manure, which only compounds the problem. Instead of being a source of food, the undecomposed organic matter can sit cold and wet against the plant's roots, creating an environment where problems, rather than plants, begin to thrive. It's time we rethink our approach to winter feeding and find a method that works with the season, not against it. To truly understand why manure can be problematic in winter, we must think like a microbe. Imagine the soil as a bustling city, full of life and activity. In summer, this city is wide awake with biological processes happening at lightning speed. Microbes are the chefs, breaking down complex organic materials like manure into a nutritious soup for your plants. They need warmth and oxygen to do their job effectively. When soil temperatures drop below about 5 degrees Celsius, or 41 degrees Fahrenheit, this bustling city grinds to a near halt. The microbes become dormant, their metabolic rates plummeting. They aren't dead, merely resting, but they stop processing food. When we apply fresh or even well-rotted manure to this cold, sleepy soil, it just sits there. It is a large, complex meal that no one is available to cook. The nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium locked within its structure remain inaccessible to your plants. Even worse, the initial stages of decomposition, which can still occur very slowly, consume nitrogen from the immediate vicinity, a process known as nitrogen drawdown. This means the manure can temporarily rob your plants of the very nutrient they need for leafy growth, causing them to look pale and weak at a time when they are already under stress from the cold. Furthermore, a thick layer of cold, damp manure can create a physical barrier in the soil. It can become compacted and waterlogged, particularly with winter rains, squeezing out the precious pockets of air that roots need to breathe. This anaerobic environment is the perfect breeding ground for diseases like rot, which thrive in cold, wet conditions. Instead of helping, you may inadvertently be creating a soggy, suffocating blanket that puts your plants at risk. There is also the danger of introducing pests that can overwinter in the organic matter, ready to emerge and feast on your crops in early spring. Another issue is the risk of root burn, even in winter. While less common than in summer, if a brief milder spell slightly activates decomposition, it can release a concentrated burst of salts and ammonia right next to the delicate, slow-growing root systems of your winter vegetables. These roots are not expanding rapidly and are less able to grow away from the problem. The sudden chemical shock can damage or even kill the fine root hairs responsible for nutrient uptake, setting your plants back significantly. It's a harsh lesson that in the quiet of a winter garden, less is very often more. So, If manure is off the table for active winter feeding, what is the alternative? We need something that provides immediate gentle nourishment without relying on a fully active microbial workforce. We also need something that can give that dormant workforce a little nudge, a gentle encouragement to stir without overwhelming the system. The answer, I have found, is wonderfully simple and surprisingly effective: a liquid feed made from blackstrap molasses and Epsom salts. This isn't about force-feeding the soil, it's about providing a gentle, easily absorbed tonic that benefits both the plant and the soil life. This formula works in a fundamentally different way to manure. Instead of providing complex organic matter that needs breaking down, it offers simple, readily available nutrients. The molasses is a powerhouse of simple sugars and carbohydrates. Think of it as a quick energy drink for the soil's microbes. Even in cold temperatures, this easily digestible food source can gently stimulate microbial activity, waking up a small portion of that sleeping army. This helps to slowly unlock existing nutrients in the soil and improve its overall structure, making it a living, breathing environment even in the depths of December. The second component, Epsom salt, is not actually salt but magnesium sulfate. Magnesium is a crucial element for plants, as it is the central atom in the chlorophyll molecule, the green pigment that allows plants to photosynthesize. In the low light of winter, maximizing the efficiency of photosynthesis is absolutely key to survival and growth. By providing a direct, soluble source of magnesium, you are helping your plants make the most of every precious hour of daylight. Sulfur, the other component, is vital for creating enzymes and plant proteins, contributing to the overall health and vigor of your winter crops. What I love about this approach is its gentleness. It doesn't shock the system. You are not asking the soil to do something it isn't ready for. Instead, you are offering a helping hand. The molasses provides a mild, warming effect, as the microbes begin to metabolize the sugars, creating a small amount of biological heat right where it's needed most, in the root zone. This subtle warmth, combined with the instantly available minerals from the Epsom salts, gives your winter vegetables the gentle boost they need to continue their slow but steady growth through the coldest months of the year. Making this winter tonic is as simple as making a cup of tea, and your plants will thank you for it with surprising vitality. You will need just 3 things: a watering can, some unsulfured blackstrap molasses, and some Epsom salts. It is important to use blackstrap molasses, as it is rich in minerals like calcium, iron, and potassium. Unlike the more refined syrups, you can find both of these ingredients easily at garden centers, farm supply stores, or even in the health food aisle of a supermarket. They are inexpensive and a little goes a very long way, making this a wonderfully economical solution. Here is the recipe I use. For a standard 9-liter or 2-gallon watering can, you will need 2 tablespoons of blackstrap molasses and 1 tablespoon of Epsom salts. The key to mixing it properly is to use lukewarm water. Cold water will make the molasses thick and difficult to dissolve, so fill your watering can about a quarter full with warm, not hot, water. Add the molasses and Epsom salts and stir thoroughly with a stick until both are completely dissolved. You should have a uniform, light brown liquid. Once it is fully mixed, you can then top up the watering can with cold water. Application is just as straightforward. Use this mixture to water the base of your plants, focusing on the soil around the root zone rather than splashing it over the leaves. Apply it once every 2 to 3 weeks through the coldest part of winter, from December to February. This frequency is enough to provide a steady, gentle supply of energy and nutrients without oversaturating the soil. It is best to apply it in the morning on a relatively mild day, if possible. This gives the soil a chance to absorb the liquid and the plants a full day to begin utilizing the nutrients before the temperatures drop again at night. One of the most important tips I can give you is to always use lukewarm water for your winter watering, whether you are using the tonic or just plain water. Dousing cold soil and dormant roots with icy water from a tap or water butt is a tremendous shock to the plant system. It can stun the roots and halt any slow growth that might be happening. By using water that is roughly at room temperature, you protect the delicate root hairs and can even slightly warm the soil, encouraging your plants to stay active and healthy. It's a small detail that makes a very big difference. The real beauty of the molasses and Epsom salt formula lies in its 2-pronged approach. It feeds the soil and it feeds the plant directly. The molasses, as we have discussed, is a direct source of carbohydrates for the microbial life in your soil. When these microbes consume the sugars, their metabolic processes generate a small but significant amount of heat. This biological warmth gently raises the temperature of the soil in the immediate root zone, creating a more hospitable microclimate for your plants. It helps to keep the soil from freezing solid and allows the roots to continue their essential, albeit slow, functions. This microbial activity also has a profound effect on soil structure. As the bacteria and fungi multiply, they secrete sticky substances that bind soil particles together into aggregates. This process improves soil aeration and drainage, preventing the compaction and waterlogging that is so common in winter gardens, especially those treated with heavy manure. The soil remains lighter and fluffier, allowing roots to breathe and preventing the anaerobic conditions that lead to disease. In essence, you are not just feeding your plants, you are fostering a living, healthy soil ecosystem that can support them through the harshest conditions. Meanwhile, the Epsom salts provide an instant bioavailable source of magnesium and sulfur. Unlike the nutrients locked in cold manure, which require weeks of microbial action to become available, magnesium sulfate dissolves in water and can be taken up by the plant's roots immediately. This is crucial in winter. With reduced daylight, every bit of photosynthetic activity counts. The magnesium boost ensures your plant's leaves are efficient little solar panels, capturing as much light energy as possible. This energy is then used for essential maintenance and slow, steady growth, resulting in healthier, more resilient plants. When you compare this to a winter application of manure, the difference is stark. Manure sits on the soil as a cold, dense layer, potentially locking up nitrogen and suffocating roots. It asks the soil to perform a digestive process it is simply too cold to manage. Our liquid tonic, on the other hand, works in harmony with the winter soil. It provides a gentle stimulant for microbes, improves soil structure, and delivers essential minerals in a form the plant can use right away. It is a supportive, gentle intervention, rather than a demanding, heavy burden. The results of this simple shift in winter care are visible across the entire vegetable patch. You will notice your leafy greens, such as winter lettuces, kale and chard, maintaining a deeper, healthier green color. This is a direct result of the magnesium boost, which fuels chlorophyll production. Instead of looking pale and stressed, they will appear robust and vibrant, better equipped to resist frost damage. The gentle warmth and improved soil structure provided by the stimulated microbes will also encourage more extensive, though slow, root development, making the plants more stable and better at finding existing nutrients and water. For root vegetables like parsnips, carrots, and leeks, the benefits are just as significant. The improved soil tilth, free from the compaction of heavy manure, allows their roots to swell and grow straight and true. A loose, aerated soil is the secret to avoiding forked carrots and stunted parsnips. The steady supply of energy from the tonic supports the slow accumulation of sugars in these roots, which not only acts as a natural antifreeze for the plant, but also results in a much sweeter, more flavorful harvest for your kitchen. You are quite literally tasting the benefits of a healthy winter soil. It is also crucial to consider disease prevention. Cold, wet, and anaerobic conditions are a recipe for disaster, encouraging fungal diseases like downy mildew and root rot. Heavy manure applications can exacerbate these issues. Our liquid feed approach, combined with good airflow and smart protection, helps to keep the soil healthy and the plants strong. For added protection, consider using clear, removable frost covers or cloches at night. Unlike opaque fleeces left on all day, clear covers trap daytime heat but should be removed or ventilated in the morning to allow maximum sunlight exposure and prevent the humid, stagnant air that diseases love. Ultimately, this method is about understanding and respecting the rhythms of the garden. Forcing the soil to digest a heavy meal of manure in the dead of winter is working against nature. By providing a gentle, stimulating tonic, you are working with it. This approach will benefit all your winter crops, from the humble swede to the most magnificent head of January king cabbage. I encourage you to try the simple formula. Share your observations with fellow gardeners. There is always more to learn, but embracing these gentle natural methods is a wonderful step towards a more productive and rewarding winter garden.